Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiana. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If not, welcome back for a new video. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in July. And I read 6 books in July. So I'm going to go through all my ratings, my reviews, my feelings on them, and if I think you should read it too. I feel like I had a really good reading month for the month of July. I have a lot of really high ratings. I really thoroughly enjoyed all the books, so I think they're all going to be recommendations for you guys. So if you guys want to see the 6 books that I read in the month of July, go ahead and stay tuned for the rest of the video. All right, so I have my iPad here to help me remember my ratings and my thoughts on them because it's been a minute. So the first book that I read was The Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum. I really enjoyed it. So that one is about the podcast, the best friends that have a podcast together, and one of the friends go missing. So in the book, you're going through the podcast, how they met, how they got it started, and you're also going through the investigation of the missing friend and suspects and all that stuff. It was really good. It was very entertaining, very engaging. I don't feel like there was a dull moment in the book. I rated the book 4 stars out of 5. I had a lot of fun reading it. I'm on my Fable now. I said this was different in a good way. I enjoyed the plot and the characters. As the story unraveled, their actions made sense. I read this on audio and loved it, so I highly recommend the audiobook. So that's why I decided to read it on audio, because I've heard such great recommendations of the audiobook, and I can confirm that it was really good. It was very engaging, very adventurous. I love the investigation, trying to figure out who is the suspect, who did it, what's going on. There's so much, there's a lot going on because you are going through the investigation, so you kind of got to remember what's going on with that. But then they're jumping back into their timeline of how they met, how the podcast started, the ins and outs of their relationships with different people, and it was really good. I had a lot of fun with it. There are some trigger warnings in there, so go ahead and look that up. But I really liked it. I highly recommend it. It's a fun read. It's more of a suspense than a thriller because you're just going through the investigation trying to figure it out. There's nothing creepy or scary or anything like that, but it was fun. I think it's a good book to read in between maybe a heavy book or a fantasy. So yeah, I highly recommend it. The second book that I read in the month of July was Six of Crows. So Six of Crows, I actually started it last year, the beginning of last year, with the book club that I was in, but I decided to DNF it. I don't know, I feel like my mind was just wanting to read other things. I was in the mood for other things, but this summer I decided to pick it back up. I honestly didn't mean to shelf it for that long, but this summer I decided to pick it back up, and I'm so glad I did. I absolutely love this book. This is one of my favorite books. I had so much fun reading it. Of course, I rated it a 5 star. I love all the characters, the Fawn family. So this one is about a group of teenagers who go on a heist to, what did they try to go get again? Oh, they try to break somebody, very well-known scientist out of prison and stuff, and the odds are stacked against them. There's so much on the line for them. It's just so good. A lot of these teens are abandoned or just surviving, trying their best to survive in the city that they're from. And it's so good. The found family, the adventure, the suspense of it, I just loved it. I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with their bond, their no BS attitude. I freaking love them. Kaz, who is the main character, oh, he has my heart. I love Kaz so much. I love his character so much. I just had so much fun reading this. So I immediately went into Crooked Kingdom as soon as I finished it. The same day I downloaded it and started Crooked Kingdom, which is part 2 to this book, and I enjoyed it just as much. I did give Crooked Kingdom a 4.5 just because I feel like it was not as good as Six of Crows, but it was still good. So Crooked Kingdom is just continuing where they left off on Six of Crows, and I don't want to go too much into Crooked Kingdom because I don't want to spoil Six of Crows, but it was so good. I feel like in Crooked Kingdom, it goes more in depth into the characters and their backgrounds and stuff and how they got to where they are now, and it was just so good. Like, she can keep writing books about these kids and I will continue to read it. I absolutely love it. I would definitely be reading these again. That's how good they were. And I don't really reread that much. I feel like there's so many books that I want to read that I don't really reread books. Like, a book has to really do it for me to want to reread it. And Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, I definitely want to reread. So that was book 2 and book 3 that I read in the month of July, and these are by I don't know if she pronounces it Leigh or Leia Bardugo. So if you guys are looking for a fantasy read, go ahead and pick this up. It's so good. Anyone who's watched the show, I noticed it says it's a Netflix show, but I've never heard anybody talk about it. So if you guys think the Netflix show is just as good as the book, let me know. If you think it's a waste of time, let me know, because then I won't watch it. I hate spoiling when shows like mess up the character and how they are and stuff. I hate it. So if you guys feel like it's worth the watch, let me know so I can watch it. But yeah, if you haven't read this yet, I advise you pick it up and read it. It was really good. This one and Crooked Kingdom, which I don't have. I read that one on my Kindle. All right, since I went over book 2 and book 3 together, my 4th book was The Correspondent. This one I had such high expectations for it, and that doesn't mean it didn't meet my expectations. This was an anticipated read for me. I picked this up back in January, I believe, either January or February, and I haven't opened it yet. I'm one of those who likes to savor my books. I don't immediately jump into them if I feel like they're gonna be 5-star reads. I don't even know why I do that. I guess I just want to read them when I'm ready to read them. I don't want to rush into it. And so I decided to pick this one up in July, and I really liked it. It was very, let me see what I wrote before I go off rambling. I did write some notes. Sybil, I love Sybil. I loved her character. She was very witty, very stubborn, very headstrong. I love that about her. I wrote in my notes that she reminded me of my grandmother's and stuff. Just the strong-willed nature of who she was and stuff. It was really good. Towards the end, you kind of find out why she is the way she is, and it all comes together and makes sense. There were tear-jerking moments. I didn't cry, but like I could have. It was very wholesome to understand Sybil and everything that she went through and everything her family went through, and the fact that she lives her life through correspondence, just writing. She writes letters to any and everybody. It doesn't matter if it's the mailman, it doesn't matter who it is, a customer representative, a dean at a school. She writes letters to everybody, her family, her children, her siblings. She writes letters to everybody, and that's how she corresponds. And I thought that was really cool. I feel like it's almost like it was easier for her to say what she needed to say writing it down versus speaking in person. And I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5, and yeah, I think it was a really good book, and I think you should read it. So this was book number 4 in my July TBR. Or I mean, it wasn't a TBR, but what I read in July. All right, so the 5th book that I read in July was The Not So Neutral Zone by Susan Mary Warren and Sarah Mary Warren, which is a mother and daughter duo. They're authors, and they wrote this book together, which I thought was pretty cool. So this one is it's a romance, and it's about a hockey player. It's a hockey romance, and it's about a hockey player who meets a girl in Barcelona. They have an epic date night, like that night, like, what do you call it? What do they call that? Love at first sight type of night, where they spend the night together, go to dinner and all that stuff. And they don't see each other for, I think it was 6 months before they run into each other again. And basically it's a fake dating trope. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It is like a Christian themed book. It's not really a Christian book, but Christian theme. Like the main female character, she's a Christian. She believes in God. She goes to church and stuff, and she talks to God to talks about God to the male main character. So it's a no spice romance. It was really good. I really liked it. I did write some notes. So on my Fable, I said this was a fun, lighthearted read with a few lessons to learn on self-worth. I really enjoyed it. I picked it up earlier this month, but only read the first chapter. And I just picked it up today and binged. So it was very easy to binge. Looking forward to book 2. And it's also a Christian romance, so I love seeing Jesus in their story. So that's what I wrote on my Fable. It is part of a series. I don't know how many books are going to be in the series. I know book 2 is already out. I don't know if it's a finished series or not, but I did see book 2 come up on my Kindle Unlimited, so I do want to read it. The notes that I wrote on this one was I enjoyed both of the main characters. I love Brody was the male main character, and I love how much he stuck up for Chloe, who's the female main character, and just reminding her of her self-worth, and to not be afraid to shine, to not dull herself for others. I really like how he really helped her with her insecurities. My heart felt a lot for Chloe just because of her insecurities and not knowing how to stick up for herself and stuff. So I really enjoyed their relationship. I liked it. It was fun. It was cute. It was fluffy. It's a good palate cleanser. I always say that romance books for me, like the fluffier ones, are palate cleansers. They're good to read in between heavier books, or like The Correspondent, which was literary fiction. It was a really good book to read after reading that and Six of Crows. So I really enjoyed it. So I do recommend it. I gave it a 4-star. Yeah, I gave it a 4-star rating. And yeah, so check it out if you have it. I really liked it. It was really fun. So then that leaves our last book that I read in the month of July, and that was Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan. And guys, I love this book so much. It was so good. It was so good. I know you guys see the very high ratings about it, and honestly, I can confirm there's a reason for that. It was so good. All right, so this one is about a single mom who also helps her dad and her disabled brother, and she comes home to Rhode Island every summer to help out her dad and his fish shop and stuff. And in that town that she lives, there's a very wealthy family, like a generational wealthy family that lives there, and her and the oldest son from that family, they run into each other. She helps him out, and they begin a fake dating contract. It's a fake dating contract trope. It was so good. The reason why I like this one, and I wouldn't even call this one fluffy, I feel like it was more of a mature romance. Like their conversations, their age, it was so much more of a mature romance, and I feel like I appreciate that. Being in my 30s, I appreciate that it wasn't just a love at first sight. We love each other, we break up, and we get back together. Like, she was a single mom, so there was that. He was vying for CEO of his family company. It was just really more, I don't know, it felt very mature reading it, like more relatable, more real life. And yeah, I really loved it. I love Dolly's character so much. She's probably one of my favorite female main characters in a romance. I just loved her. I love how much she stuck up for herself, how much she stood her ground, how she was about business. I love her. I did love Stuart a lot, who's the male main character. I love how he wasn't uppity and snobby or anything like that. I love how much he told Dolly to say yes to herself. So guys, I actually picked this book up on our beach trip. I read the first chapter, and I didn't pick it up for a week just because I just didn't have the time to. And the day that I picked this up, I did not put it down. I think I read it in 6 hours. That's how good this book was. And it's not even like that thin. It's a little thick for a romance. And I just could not put it down. Every time I told myself, all right, we'll read some more later. No, I picked it right back up and just continue reading. It was so good. I gave this one 5 stars. I will definitely read this one again, hopefully next summer. But if you haven't read this yet, I advise you to pick this one up, especially right before summer is over. Like, use this book to end your summer TBR. It was really good. All right, so those were the 6 books that I read in the month of July. Like I said, I felt like I had a really good reading month for July. I thoroughly enjoyed all these books. I actually have 3 rereads in there, which is very rare for me. Yeah, if you guys haven't read any of these books, I recommend all 6 of them. I had a lot of fun reading them. But thank you guys so much for joining me for today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. And remember, Jesus loves you and so do I. Have a great day, guys. Bye.